Listen, when I knew that you were the Bachelorette.
Okay. Oh, that was so good.
I literally flipped out.
Oh, no. That guy's doing backflips, and I'm in HR.
I'm in HR.
Hey guys, welcome to the Geek. Today we're talking Bachelorette 2023, the 20th season.
Yeah, some charity.
Yep, charity.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Billy, what's your experience with The Bachelor or Bachelorette?
This is my first run into it, man. Yeah.
Very first time?
Yeah, I tell you, no, actually, I watched episode 1 of The Bachelor with Zach last season, which Charity was on, right? So I watched that first episode, so I saw her on that, but then after that, I gave up on the show.
You did a little sneak peek
I
and
did a
you
little
were
sneak
out?
peek, and then I was out. Yeah.
I watched it years ago. I've watched maybe 3 or 4 seasons. I think I've only watched 1 season of The Bachelorette, but I've watched 2 or 3 seasons of
I'm
Bachelor.
aware of the show, but I haven't watched it. So
It's been a while.
it looks like a new host. I mean, maybe this guy's
It
been
is a
around
new
for 10
host.
seasons. I don't know.
Some Jesse Palmer.
I don't know how long. I don't know if this is his first season or
Yeah,
I don't know.
I do know he's 44 years
That's right, it
old,
tells you
though.
that.
For
Show
some
tells you.
reason, I know that.
Because they got to
Yeah.
tell you how old everybody is, right? They can get out of the card, show them how old they are, their
Yeah,
name.
he's like, what about me, guys? Should they know my age?
And what's his name?
Jesse.
Jesse Palmer.
Jesse. Yeah, but we really all remembered his age before his name.
Right, exactly. So I'm sure
Yeah,
that big old
yeah,
44 pop up.
But I didn't realize this show was like a dating circus. You know what I mean?
No
There's
doubt, man.
people doing tricks
Oh, yeah,
and
man. Yeah,
all
homeboy
kinds of
doing
stuff.
backflips and...
Yeah,
I
like, what
liked
is
it.
this?
No, I will say it was pretty impressive, man. He's got like the highest jump record going
Yeah,
on, man.
I mean, he
That's
can
pretty-
jump.
That dude could jump.
I
super
liked
high, man.
Aaron S.'s take on it. He was like, welcome to meeting season on Animal Planet.
Yeah, I didn't
Full
know.
display.
I didn't know if this was like a dating show or
Talent show.
yeah, what? So
They could have made this like a cage match, man. This last man standing wins against the girl.
well, they
you
got
know?
one guy in
That'd be
there
cool.
that's probably okay with that.
He
that's
body
right.
slammed
The
somebody.
wrestler, Yeah.
Like, what about the guy he body slammed?
He was cool with it. You know, he was like, hey, body slam me.
At
He was down
first,
with it.
I didn't really like. I'm like, everyone's got to have a gimmick and
Mm-hmm.
come up with something. I'm
Gotta
like,
be
this,
memorable.
This seems very forced.
But some of those gimmicks were kind of cool, though.
Yeah.
Man.
Then
Like-
they got like some people started bringing
Oh,
it, and
yeah,
I was
dude.
like,
like
okay,
homeboy,
okay.
Who was it? Braden with the shots. That was good.
That was good.
Homeboy with the freaking fortune cookie. That was smooth. That was cool. I like that one.
I liked, I think it was Taylor who had the camera.
Oh, that was awesome.
I
Yeah,
like
yeah.
that,
Hey,
you know,
kids,
like-
meet your future mom. Yeah, that was cool. I like how he did that.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, that was smooth for sure too. Yeah, a couple of the guys had it going, man, but most of them were just pretty generic. I thought, you know, just like the guy that gave her the plane ticket. To like Ohio, wherever the hell he was from. I was like, who the hell wants to go there?
I mean, they had the
I
guy.
have to go to Ohio.
They had the guy that like was a diver.
Yeah, that was cool.
Oh,
yeah,
yes.
yeah, that's true. Yeah.
The cowboy wrestler guy.
Yeah.
I mean, they had like a little bit of everything going
Yeah.
on.
The firefighter, his thing was cool, you know. So and then he had a little duck game that he played with her.
Yeah.
Which ones did you not like?
So I-
Spencer?
Yeah, Spencer, man. I mean, the funny thing is, I felt so sorry for that guy because he was like super socially awkward. He doesn't know how to talk to women. And I don't know how.
I
the hell
don't
he
think
got-
he just. I don't think
that
he just
guy.
has to talk
I
to
tell you
people.
what. So he said he's got a kid. He must have been super drunk when he.
Dang.
When he, yeah, because he was. I bet when he drunk. I bet when he's drunk, he's fun. And when he's drunk, he can probably talk and he's laid back and stuff. But when he's not, that dude's super uptight, just like hard to talk to people. And I felt bad for him. But at the same time, I was rooting for him. I was like, man, I feel so bad for this guy, but he seemed like such a nice dude. So I was hoping she was going to give him a rose, man. So that was kind of
Spencer,
cool.
man. I'm kind of surprised she didn't send him home right,
Right
then
off
and
the
there.
bat, I know, yeah.
Yeah, that was very
rough.
awkward.
And I
that was
couldn't
rough.
tell if he was joking around, like doing a bit, or if
Oh,
he
yeah.
was
At
like
first, yeah,
serious.
Yeah,
Yeah.
At first, it kind of I was like, "What's going on?" But then I was like, "Yeah, this dude's he's just socially awkward."
Yeah. I didn't like the diving helmet guy.
He's got like a little bit of a super. I was like, is he gonna like rip open his chest and like transform or what? Like, I wasn't sure.
So on my initial like assessment, just on their photos, I actually pointed out the little Superman like curl that he had, and it was
Oh,
a
yeah.
pass for me.
I mean, one guy's doing backflips, right? And what's cool is like they're watching it from inside. It's like that dude's doing backflips. I'm in HR, man.
Yeah, who was that? The Calvin? I think it was Calvin. I remember his HR. He was like, "Yeah, I'm HR. How about I compete with that?"
You don't
Yeah,
have
that
any
was
special
awesome.
tricks.
Or what was that dude's name? HR guy. Was it Calvin?
Maybe Caleb or something.
Caleb,
Caleb.
Yeah, Caleb. That was it. Yep.
Yeah. So which ones did you not like? I mean, obviously Spencer was awkward.
Yeah,
so.
I mean, off the bat, there wasn't anybody I just straight out didn't like that I thought was just a douche or a jerk. I mean, they all seem relatively okay guys.
I didn't really like the coin thing. I was like, come on.
Yeah,
well, I mean, the funny thing is, it's pretty damn obvious to me, at least, that that's a double-headed coin.
It
right?
is.
That's a double-headed coin. So he's being a little manipulative with that coin, right? Trying to say, I'm here for love.
I don't know if he's been manipulative. I think
She
everyone kind of knows what's going on here.
Yeah, it's like
true.
she's in on it too. Like she knows.
And either way, I mean, the way she was making out with dudes, she would have made out with him anyway. He didn't need to toss that coin. Like, if he got a kiss, he was going to get it anyway from her. So, she was,
it's a chance to create a good impression, but like, you know, some people did something cool, and it's like at the end of the day, if she's not into you, then it doesn't really matter what you do. I
Right.
guess. So.
Exactly. Yeah.
Now, the question I have is like, did she actually get any one-on-one time with every single one of them? Because obviously they're not showing us that.
So.
No, because some of the guys, Doughton was like, man, he even said, or Doughton, he was like, man, he's like, I didn't get any time with her. He's like, I might not get picked here.
Yeah.
So I think there were definitely dudes that didn't get some time with her.
So that, I mean, that kind of sucks because especially if you didn't have a gimmick in your first meeting, then it's like, what does she really know about you?
But then what was cool though is when her brother came along. That was pretty cool.
That was cool.
Having that dude on the scene and then dressing. His like the way he put the mustache on him, man, it was like all jacked up right here. I was like,
that costume was like so ridiculous.
Oh, yeah. I was like, how are these dudes not knowing that that's a fake mustache?
Someone knew.
I mean, maybe someone just didn't want to like stare at him, but come on, man, that was like the most jinkety mustache.
Oh, yeah, it was bad. It was bad.
Someone pointed it out, and he's like,
they might as well took in a Sharpie and just drawn it on him or something.
Yeah, no kidding, man.
You guys should do that in the next video.
We should have done this one. That mustache was horrible. I was like, oh,
where's
God,
Billy today? But yeah,
I could just be like,
it was ridiculous. But I mean, yeah, I don't know. I like the fortune cookie bit. I thought that was kind of cool.
That one was smooth, man. That dude was awesome.
And I liked his message on the fortune.
Oh yeah, that was good.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, the shots went from Braden, man. That was smooth too. Even though he couldn't handle the shot very well, you know, but still pretty smooth move.
Yeah, so it was kind of cool for the brother to go undercover and I guess get some information. I don't know how often they do this kind of stuff, but
yeah, I thought
he was the undercover brother.
And I wonder if it's obvious too, because
exactly
obviously you have to stage some things at the bar somehow. Maybe people naturally go there. Maybe people don't. I don't know. Maybe like I'm going to drink. Like, whoa, where you going, man? I got some questions for you.
Free drinks, man. Who the hell's not going to go there, right?
Yeah, well, you go to the bar, get a drink, but maybe you walk away.
Right.
Well, I mean,
it was a small bar too. It was a very small bar.
Yeah.
You know, when he was asking him questions, so like, how you feel? Like
that's another red flag, though. Like, this guy like probing me on all this stuff.
I mean, bartenders and
this ain't a normal bartender. You're on a TV show. Normally, they'd probably be like, "Do not talk to the talent" or whatever.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Is that what they told? Hey, whatever.
whatever. But yeah, the undercover brother here doing some investigating.
Cool, that was cool how they did that.
I don't think he got enough information though.
Nah. And
not that we saw.
What can you get though?
Yeah,
you know
and the way editing manipulated the information he did get, and I was like, it was like, come on, man.
Well, the one guy, he said, you know, how do you feel? He's like, well, I don't really normally go for like the petite
I go for the thick
type.
Girls, yeah.
I think it might have been better.
South, you know what I'm saying? Like my thick girls.
At the same time, I don't know if he's even taken his advice into account, right?
Well, I think what really happened is that, he was like, I think he was, had a bit of an ego, but I'm sure he probably told her, but he was saying how giddy he felt and all that stuff. So I'm sure he told her, like, everything that was actually happened at the bar, which obviously we didn't see in the editing. We just saw him tell her.
Here's the deal. Like, a brother's viewpoint is going to be different than her viewpoint, right? Because he's like, this guy's a douche. I don't like him. But she's like, well, he's bragging about me, so this is cool, actually. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah, no doubt. But I think he probably told her some good stuff about Braden.
But I also, okay, first of all, I have my own thoughts and opinions of Braden, but I don't think he did come across very giddy and borderline braggy, and then eventually cocky. But he was the only one who was actually seen kissing her. So then people were talking and approaching him and asking him about it. It's not like he came out there and was like, I got a kiss, you know?
Well, let's talk about this too. She initiates a lot of kisses.
She initiated them
all of them.
All of them.
So
except the dude with the coin. But even if he hadn't flipped that coin, she would have initiated a kiss.
Yeah, like she is going in for the kill, like, and she's she's not just like kissing people. She's like
she's making out.
She's like acting like she's got like a Chick-fil-A sandwich in front of her. She's like throwing it down on this thing, man. Like,
it's not
leaving no crumb behind.
The very first one they showed, I thought, okay, this will just be is she leaning in? Is that what I'm seeing? And then I was like, she's just gonna, do a quick back. Oh no, they're really kissing, and then. No, it's still going. And that was how all of them were.
Yeah. And I think when this show first came out, people were kind of hesitant, but like at some point the floodgates get open because people see that this happens. But I don't find that attractive at all, that you have this girl, she's supposed to be like cool and pure, and she's just making out heavy with dude after dude after dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But hey, how'd his spit taste, buddy?
Yeah, I wish they would. I wish they would classy it up a bit more.
Yeah.
That was a little alarming to me. Like, I get she's gonna kiss multiple guys, it's gonna happen,
but the first date,
first night, first of all, this is like you've probably had a total of 5 minutes of interaction with this person, maybe 10 minutes. Like, how long is this party? Like, I mean, and then that you've got 24 other guys out there to have these conversations with, like. Have the first kiss.
That's kind of my issue here with this show. This show, more than any other show, feels forced and fake with trying to find like people that work, because like you got first off people coming up with these crazy gimmicks right off the bat. Then she's making out with a ton of people, and like I think even some of her choices feel like, well, this person is unique, so we got to keep them around for the show. And I don't know, this show just feels more fake than most others.
Especially after learning some of the stuff we've learned, in interviews, with what goes on behind the scenes and how sometimes people are forced to keep people they don't want to keep.
You got the brother with the goofy costume going undercover, so I don't know.
Yeah, and the other problem I have with the show, which we'll see as this season progresses, is the extravagant dates that they go on.
I'm okay with that, though. I mean, I think it's okay to build a little bit of a fairy tale.
There's a little bit, but every single one of them are, like, not even vacations and things that I've been on in my years of being, in a relationship.
And that's the thing, too, right? It's like, oh, you're falling in love. Yeah, you're falling in love in fairy tale land with these dudes, right? Like, where's the real world scenario here where,
There is a problem with that with every dating show, obviously. They're not at home with their normal habitat and stressors and things like that.
Well, at least some of the dating shows, like Love is Blind and stuff like that, they do take them back home at some point, right? They start out in fairy tale land.
They have
and
hometown dates on these.
They take them to hometown, so.
Well, see, I mean, you're trying to find, like, the love of your life, but if I'm, like, marrying this woman and I'm like, you see on the first date you're making out with everyone, like, I'm just kind of, like, turned off by that, honestly. And, like, how's this trying to promote like you finding a life partner and stuff? I just don't know.
Yeah, maybe. No, I get it. And I've said this before. Kissing. I mean, if you can't kiss good with somebody, then you probably don't want to be with them. But you don't need to do that on the very first night when you got to talk to 25 different dudes, right?
Yeah, that's my issue. I mean, I understand it's going to happen, especially as you build like relationships and you want to like make sure you're picking the right person. But like the first day, come on.
But now she only kissed 4. There's 25 of them, so.
That's a strong indicator.
But every single one of them, she seemed to feel butterflies and was very happy with the way the kiss went. So maybe she was selective about who she kissed.
Maybe.
Yeah, maybe. Well, you would hope she was selective
I would think so.
about it.
Yeah, especially if she's initiating.
Right, yeah, but it didn't seem like the way we were watching it. It's just like, I think like the first one they showed was Xavier. I was like... So. It was good to, I'm glad we had this time. Yeah. And it was like this back and forth. I'm like, I think they're just going to kiss for this awkward silence time. They don't know what else to do.
They were doing some heavy kissing.
And that's what I thought. I really thought that the kiss was only going to happen because of the awkward space in between. I guess this is the next step. And it just kept going.
But, so what do you think about how it progressed after that with like these little mini dates and stuff like that?
It's almost just like speed dating rounds, right? It's basically what it is. There's little mini speed dating rounds with each of these dudes to kind of get to know them a little bit, and but really how much do you really need to know them in that short amount of time, right? Not much, I wouldn't think. To the point where she's got to pick a guy to give this rose to for the first impression. Now, what I thought should have happened though on this show, and I don't know why they don't do this. There should be like 2 first impression roses. The very first one should be like who had the coolest intro, right? Like which guy did you think had the best intro in the beginning?
Getting out of the limo.
Getting out of the limo. That should be a rose right there. And then you had the end of the night first impression rose, like, all right, who's your favorite guy? So I think they should have done 2 of those. I think it'd be a lot better if they did that.
Yeah, no, Chris, he kept trying the jump trick like multiple times. Like it's like that's all he had, and I don't think he got a 1-on-1. So like that was the only impression he had to give her was like, look, I can do backflips and jump really high.
I liked his suit though.
Yeah, the red suit.
Yeah.
It stood out. I mean, I give him props for trying to stand out as far as that goes.
And jumping like that in the suit.
Yeah, but his was different. So
yeah, and doing a backflip in a suit like that, that's impressive. No doubt.
And the wrestler did a flip too, so he's got some skills in that range as well. So
yeah, no doubt, man.
And he's body slamming people. So.
I would have let both of them go.
I bet no one. They show some previews of people getting into it, and I bet no one gets into it with that guy.
Well, though they did show the one scene where he was like crying and it looked so fake, man. His cry looked fake as hell, and I just kind of laughed when I saw it.
He's a pro wrestler.
Yeah, it did look fake.
It looked super fake. I was like, holy cow.
Another thing that annoyed me is they showed like the trailer leading up to the first episode, and so you know who's somewhat getting a rose because you're like, that ain't gonna happen on the first episode. So clearly this person's gonna make it.
Oh yeah.
I hate when they do that.
Well, then they had Spencer, man. They showed him like looking like a crazy stalker in it for a minute there, man. Like she was out, kissing one dude, and the look he had on his face, and he's watching, and he's like pacing back and forth.
Spencer's a wild card.
Oh yeah. No doubt, man.
I wonder if that is the next episode, and then she lets him go, or how long is she keeping him around? Is what I want to know.
Yeah, and he has the kid, so I wonder if she's going to be like, she could have made up some simple excuse to be like, I don't want to take you away from your kid, so I'm going to like, send you home.
Right, exactly.
And we haven't heard. Maybe some of the other guys have kids.
They just didn't mention it.
Yeah, we just don't know.
True.
So
maybe.
I don't know if that's a deal breaker for her.
Yeah, some of these guys are in their early 30s, aren't they? I think so. It's possible,
Who was the guy? There was a guy who had the box with the note from the mom.
Cool.
Yeah, the donuts.
Cool. The donuts from the apple cider
orchard.
Yeah, the apple orchard.
Cool. And I mean, they both bit off the donut.
Like the lady
pretty
in
close.
the tramp with the donut.
Yeah, that's right.
But they didn't kiss.
No.
That would have been perfect.
Homeboy didn't get a kiss.
They had donut in their mouth. You know what I mean? They were busy.
And then, like, it comes time to give the the first rose. What do they call that?
First impression rose.
First impression rose. And then they pull old Braden aside, and everyone. And as they're pulling him aside, like everyone's kind of talking crap to like, that guy, man, he's too cocky, and yeah.
Well, this is after the brother revealed himself, like, ha ha!
And you see Braden's face, like,
I hope I didn't say something stupid.
I didn't say anything stupid, did I? And everybody else is like, he's out. He's
You're
out.
toast, bro. You're toast.
And she puts him in a timeout and then comes back and then awards it to him. She does. She literally says, "You chill out. I'll be back."
She was just over there, like standing there like this, right? Like, I was like, "What the hell is she doing?" Yeah.
I thought that whole thing was weird, and I'm like, on principle, you probably shouldn't award it to him. Because, like, why have your brother here to feed you information? If there's anyone that he provided negative information on, it had to be him. So, out of principle, you probably shouldn't have given him.
Yeah, but again, I think he provided positive information on him as well. We just didn't see that because
he probably did, but he was the only one that really the brother had any information on to provide
that editing
to
showed
get
us.
Well, I mean, there's the whole, like, I don't go for the petite women. Like, you could have mentioned that and be like, look, because she's petite, right? Mm-hmm. So, like, you're not his type. You should get rid of him.
Exactly,
yeah, and that's probably a good gouge, but I just don't think she should have chosen him on the first one because I think it's such a bad precedent.
I was cool with it.
He's probably the most douchey guy so far.
He is.
Yeah, probably so. But the thing is, hopefully she'll learn that along the way, right? So, I mean, I was cool with her picking him out off the bat, but, hopefully she'll learn.
And everyone was in shock when he got the rose.
Oh, dude, the looks on their faces. Dude, that was beautiful, man. That was classic. The looks on those dudes' faces when he walks in with his rose, man.
And they probably took like a mental note. Okay, game on. I see how this is going to go.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. When you see that in the previews, right, between him and was it Aaron, I think? Which guy was it? It was like, they kind of had some beef together with. I think it might have been Aaron.
I don't remember.
But,
from the preview. Yeah.
Any people stand out to you that you're impressed with or that you thought should have been sent home that didn't?
Taylor was my number one, and he happens to be one that she let go. So my number two is now my number one, which is Aaron S., the firefighter.
All right, so Spencer, should he have stayed or gone home?
He should have gone home.
He should have gone home. I was kind of happy to see him just because he's such a weird dude, but at the same time, I'm pretty sure they probably told her to keep him. She probably
but is he good for the show since he's so eccentric?
He is going to be good for the show.
They told him to keep her. They told her to keep him.
Yeah, well, I mean, there's something to that, though. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I want to be entertained. I'm kind of curious about him, but I don't see how he
This is
makes
my problem
it.
with reality dating shows or reality TVs. I get that there's some kind of script to it. I know it's not full-blown reality. I've always understood that. But with the dating shows, I really, truly thought that they got to keep who they wanted to keep.
Nope.
But I can see that there's pressure from... producers.
I mean, they're gonna,
close.
someone might say, I want to send them home, and they work out a negotiation. But like, I think in the end, they're gonna get who they want and stuff like that.
True.
So, I mean, it is a show. If things went like true reality, it'd probably be boring. And I mean, you got to introduce some elements that are gonna keep it entertaining.
But she sacrificed Taylor. Why him? Needed him to stay.
He was a good looking dude, man.
I
He was a good looking dude. I give him that.
What do you think about Sean? You like Sean?
Sean's a weirdo, man.
I passed on him.
Nah, dude, that hair, dude, he's like Aaron Carter or something, man. With that freaking
What's wrong with
he
that?
has like Backstreet's Boy look to him or something there, man.
What's wrong with that?
Like
And he was always
he's
playing with it. Like every time he
he's
just had his
boy
hands
band
through his
guy,
hair.
man.
There's old Spence.
Superman curl right there.
There's two people with like a Superman.
All right, let's talk about Tanner for a second. So Tanner
was the terrible towel guy, right?
He was the terrible towel guy, and he was one of my top 5 picks initially, but then I found out he was a Steelers fan, and I can't handle that.
he got the terrible tea, man. The terrible tea towel.
Yeah, he did. He brought the terrible tea.
Right.
But I think she kept him. I think she's one.
Yeah, I think she kept him.
Warwick.
I liked him.
Warwick. Yeah, he was cool. I like Warwick.
I liked him a lot.
Like I said, there wasn't anybody that I was like, oh, that guy's a complete douche.
So Xavier is one I initially passed on, but actually he's I think in one of my top 5 now.
Yeah, or maybe it was Xavier that he was having beef with in the preview. I think it might have been Xavier.
Yeah.
And Caleb K made it, but I don't think we saw too much from that guy. So
yeah, we didn't.
No, we didn't see anything from that guy.
That was the other thing is I was trying to keep notes to see like who am I going to pick and kind of go on. But a lot of the times when I didn't get, they kind of rushed through the limo meeting with the guys. I was like, okay, well, we'll get to see more from them. Mm-hmm. Like Khalid, we didn't see like anything from him.
Yeah, the only time I saw Caleb really was like whenever she was giving out the roses, it kept focusing on him. And I was like, why does he keep focusing on this dude that we haven't heard nothing about? And I was like, he's probably going to pick her. Or she's probably going to pick him, because he keeps focusing on him. But
yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. So what is your first impressions of The Bachelor?
It looks like it's going to be a good show. Like, so far, hell, you got freaking, 19 dudes living in a house together fighting over one girl? I mean, there's going to be some drama, right? Maybe some fist fights.
Yeah, that's setup. Like, could you deal with a setup like that where one person and now you got to try your hardest and buy for them, even though they're not really buying for you?
And then you're not even going to be your authentic self, man. These dudes are all going to be so freaking fake. None of these guys are going to be their authentic self, especially up front.
They go on group dates,
now. Yeah.
Like it'll be like a group of 5 of them on one date, and then they.
And they're going to
Can I interrupt?
They're going to be trying to one up each other.
Now, if you're not like an A-type person, how do you even stand a chance in this?
Oh, you don't. Yeah, you got to be a type A kind of, extrovert on this to stand it. Well, unless you do get some quality one-on-one time with her, and when it's just you and her, you're smooth as hell, and you're just a good dude, even though you're an introvert. Other than that, I don't see introverts really standing much of a chance.
There might be guys that she seeks out to have the one-on-one time.
Yeah.
But I did like the little inserts from the previous Bachelorettes, like giving her advice here and there, like those little videos they put in the middle. Like
that was cool. Yeah.
Like the one girl said to find your favorite and then leave them alone. Not in a game kind of way, but
she's like talk to the other guys, give the other guys a chance to get
because
to
know you're gonna pick that one.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
which makes sense.
Yeah,
right?
it does.
It is the full display of mating season here on Animal Planet.
The very first episode of this, I wasn't bored. It was pretty interesting to me. It was just funny watching these, and like Homeboy said, it's like watching the Animal Planet.
I love him.
I was like,
he's my number one.
That was great. I was like, man, that's a great analogy because it totally is. It's totally like that.
Billy, who's your number one guy?
Right now, I don't have one, man. I really don't.
Come on, you got
a guy.
Yeah,
come on,
you gotta have.
You got a guy.
I'm going to Douchey Braden right now, man.
Jeez.
I'm going to Douchey Braden because that dude's got game, man, and freaking she's digging it. So.
I like John B. and the wrestler guy.
The wrestler guy's got to go.
I don't think she's gonna pick him, but
no, she's not gonna
I like. He adds a different flavor.
I like John B. But he's got to go. Wrestler out.
No, he's gonna be around because he's unique too.
That's right. Until he has his fake cry, and then that's probably when he gets booted.
So here's the question: is it your favorite or is it who you think is her favorite?
Right now, I think it's her.
I don't think that's gonna be her favorite. The wrestler, come on.
Right now, Douchey Braden's her favorite.
Yeah. So,
Yeah, probably.
Oh yeah.
I mean, he got the first impression wrong.
So we got 6 dudes that didn't make it here. Actually, which of these guys didn't make it?
All right. So our world record jumper, Chris.
Yeah,
He's
poor
out.
guy. Those backflips didn't do it for her.
Yeah, that was disappointing.
Joe, who's the tech ops director.
I don't even remember that guy.
Tech ops.
Yeah, I liked
Joe
him.
is like a
He's
cool
very
looking
good.
guy.
Yeah,
though.
he's good looking. I liked him. I was sad to see him go.
What was his name?
Spencer.
Yeah.
I'm blaming it all on Spencer.
That's right.
He took Spencer's spot. Khalid, which we didn't really get to see much of.
No,
so,
yeah, so much
you know,
He's in the background.
maybe she didn't get to see much of him. And
Yeah.
Nick, HR exec. By the way, hold on. Khalid was
yeah,
also
yeah.
in tech. She got rid of 2 tech guys.
Don't like the tech people.
That's right. She don't care about that.
Nick, HR.
Oh man, the HR guy, I liked
HR
him.
Yeah,
left,
gone.
man. Yeah.
Oh man, no love for HR.
No, that poor guy.
Peter, the pilot.
Peter Pilot.
I'm good with him.
I liked him too.
Yeah, he's
Well,
cool.
you know, at some
He
point
wasn't
you
cool
got to get
enough,
rid of good
evidently.
people.
That's right.
No.
She's too busy swapping spit with
to worry
some
about
of these
Peter.
people.
And then my number 1 pick, Taylor.
Taylor's a good looking dude, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a good.
He's
What
looking
about
He's a
Aaron?
loan officer.
Which one? Which
Well,
Aaron?
he was the
Wasn't there-
firefighter guy,
wasn't there
right?
two
That's
Aarons?
Aaron S. He's now my
Aaron
number
S.
1 because Taylor's gone.
Aaron S is cool. I liked him. I liked his little squirting ducks game.
I don't know. I feel like he's treading water. Like he's barely hanging on.
Think so?
No.
I don't know, man.
No,
There's a
he's
guy
up there for
there's
her.
a guy she's picked that it didn't show her spending any time with. You know,
Yeah.
like the other Caleb guy.
She
and
played
stuff, so-
games with him.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah,
They're good.
well, I mean,
I
you can
think
pick
he's good,
somebody,
man.
but like at the end, I feel like he's a try hard.
Yeah,
and
but what
he's
do you
gonna
think?
lose.
What do you think about Charity though, Josh?
Yeah.
Yeah. Charity is freaking smoking. Oh, she's
Yeah,
smoking.
she's
I'm not
Well-
into so petite women.
Well, yeah. You know, I mean, it's funny. She made that comment in the beginning, and of course, we know why she did. But she's like, yeah, so little girls, you look like me, look up to me. I'm like, I don't care if they're purple or green or yellow. They look half as beautiful as you, and they're lucky girls. You know, I mean, she's gorgeous, man. Like, damn, that's a good looking girl.
She's driven.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Yeah, no doubt.
Where'd
She
she
got
drive?
her master's degree.
I don't know what she drives. She's driven as far as her career. Okay.
That's right. Yeah,
She's
beautiful,
got
man.
she's
Well,
she
she's
says
so
she's got
driven.
great.
Then why is she on these shows back to back?
She says she's got the perfect family, the perfect job. She's got the perfect life. She
Her
just
family
doesn't-
seemed cool, man.
doesn't have anyone to
definitely
share it
has a
with.
family. Yeah, she
Yeah.
definitely. You can tell she came for good
Is
family. Her
she
dad-
out for love or is she out for fame?
I think she's out for love.
I don't know about that. We'll see though.
I'm just like the hopeless romantic, and I like to see the
But
good in
she's-
people. So
I mean,
think
normally
that
they
she's there
go
the
for,
right reasons.
like normally the person being selected that is a bachelor is got it all going
Well,
on.
I will say this though. I mean, her parents. Her dad's looked like he was Air Force. I think. I think he showed him in uniform. You know, she's a military brat, and her parents been married for, I would say, like 40 years or 30 something years, 40 years. So she got good role models. for
100
sure, man.
years.
She's very well put together,
Yeah,
and
no doubt.
she's pretty. So yeah,
I do question
Maybe
her
that was
judgment
Army
in
Army.
men, though.
I mean, all these guys are pretty good looking guys, and like they don't have any like natural guys. No one has like a semi gut or something. Where's the natural guy?
Dude, in the previews when it shows all these dudes their shirts off, man, they're all freaking
Yeah.
like,
There
Yeah,
was,
all
I
these
want to
guys
They're
are
say,
all
dudes.
6'2", like
in the
freaking Adonises.
first,
except for that one guy.
it was the
Poor
first or
Joey.
second season of The Bachelor. It must have been the first or second season of The Bachelorette, because he was a bachelor and he was somewhat of a chubby guy, and he ended up becoming the bachelor in the next season.
Yeah, they show these
He was a
guys at home.
favorite.
They're playing the piano. They're doing like this
Yeah.
crazy. I want to see the guy like just eating chips on the couch. You know what I
That's what that
mean?
guy-
I want to see normal life. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Right, and then when you got poor Joey, like he's like, dude, I feel like I'm just staring up at you guys everywhere I go. He looks like he's probably like 5'10". All these other guys like 6'5", 6'6", seems like.
Can we have like a over the hill bachelor just once? Just once.
And then I need to see someone say, "Hey, can you take out the trash?" And be like, "Take it out yourself." Like, I need to see the normal interaction.
I want to see some guy like shoo his cat off the table. Get the hell out of here.
take his dog out of the room.
He's trying to do the
Yeah.
interview. The cat just jumps on the table. He's like, get the hell out of here.
my table?
But yeah, I mean, everyone is like model quality practically.
Pretty much, man. Yeah. Yeah, they didn't choose no freaking just regular Joe guys for sure.
Even Spencer, as awkward as he are, he still looks like,
Yeah.
Superman in Clark Kent form. So
Right. Exactly.
Yeah, no one's like, oh, super ugly. No.
On that note, hey, tell us who you think's going to be the number one guy here. Who's your favorite? Tell us why they're your favorite, and we'd love to have some discussion with you on it. And until next time, we'll check you guys at our next review.
see ya.
See ya.